Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I am your host, Kimberly Cloud. Today, we are going to be seeing what all we can accomplish within less than 2 hours. We're just in this thing a minute and almost 30 seconds. So, let's see what we can accomplish. First, what I'm going to do is add y'all to the stage if I can. Close this out real quick. Open up a kick. I don't know why I do that backwards all the time. So while that's going, so basically, I am going to go in and reread the homework portion, like skim through it and see what all I need to accomplish to see what I need to accomplish. Number one, um, it it was clear that I needed to stop at project at slide or page 4, go to number project 2 online, and come back to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is what I read. But as far as everything else, I don't know how to get started. So I'm gonna try to do it myself, and whatever questions that are or is challenging for me, I will make sure that I recap with the teacher at 1:30 my time or 2:30 my time. I'll get on there at 1:30 my time just to make sure that he doesn't show up. Bear with me, y'all. I don't know. Oh, man. I know a lot of y'all remember this song. Every now and then we find a special friend who never lets us down. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I am your host, Kimberly Cloud. Give me just a second. Okay, now y'all can see it. Okay, so we're going to go back to this. Let me get my book. Who understands it all? I'm trying to look for a pen. I always turn you on. You're the best friend that I've got. I know you can stay. Where's my work from yesterday? Oh, I swear I write too much. Okay, we're gonna look at the Cotter's 8-step process. So I'm gonna write this down. 1 through 4 of Cotter's model. Create a sense of urgency. Communicate the fact that change is needed. Hold on. Is all of y'all seeing this? No. Ah. Okay. Is this okay? Great. Great. So one is create a sense of urgency. Communicate. Communicate the fact that change is needed swiftly. Basically, change is needed immediately or a little under immediately, but it's needed in order to garner support for the organizational change plan. Build a guiding coalition. Include individuals with leadership potential who can help get others on board as the plan is put in place. That's hard to do. Form a strategic vision and initiatives. Let me write this down. So, one, create sense of urgency. Two, build a coalition. Three, form strategic vision and initiatives. Enlist a volunteer army is number 4. Okay. Employees and managers become complacent with their daily activities and fear both success and failure. The additional energy and focus required to implement change across the board can feel overwhelming. Organizational change efforts force companies to take a hard look at their overall image. So that improvements can be made that address the faucets productively. The real disadvantage. The Cotter models come if management is not on board with the needed changes. If management is not on board with the Cotter's model, then groupthink can quickly spread and drill some small holes in an otherwise effective plan. Often, organizational change can help determine ineffective areas of employees. These employees who are ineffective or not contributing to the organization's bottom line may intentionally thwart efforts for change. This is why Facebook and X and even moderators at Truth Social and people all over with big tech and beyond that, they're firing people. They're firing people at organizations, at government organizations, because they're ineffective in not contributing to the organizational bottom line that may intentionally thwart, intentionally, that means to purposefully thwart, which halts effort for change. It is up to management to ensure that the positive attitudes reach the whole team, department, and organization. What is right here? Cotter's model acknowledges that organizational change is difficult. Mandating changes for employees. I'm about to listen to Mozart just a little bit. Sorry, y'all. You can't even go through a million songs. 100 million songs. We're trapped within the songs that we like. So how can you listen to that many songs? Oh, that's loud. Hold on, y'all. Okay. As a part of the process, you want to build a team of individuals who can grow with your company. Of course, from common sense standards, this can be achieved by hiring the right individuals from the start. Once the right individuals are hired, they should be placed in an effective onboarding program that encourages them to speak freely about their concerns. This freedom is speak this freedom to speak is important for leaders because it shows that they are open to understanding the environment in which their employees exist and how employees interact with the world around them. How employees interact with the world correlates strongly with the organization bottom line. Go back here. Okay, keep going. I hope everybody has reviewed the HR materials. I read this. Retaining an employee is important, competent to healthy or to a healthy organization. Losing an employee is called turnover. Turnover can be very expensive to an organization, which is why it is very important to develop retention plans to manage turnover. Voluntary turnover is initiated by the employee, while involuntary turnover is initiated by the organization for various reasons, such as non performance. Direct turnover costs, indirect turnover costs can include the costs associated with employee replacement, declining employee morale, and lost customers. Some of the reason why employees leave can include a poor match between jobs and skills, lack of growth potential, pay inequity among employees, problems with fairness or lack of communication by management, and heavy workloads. Me and my other reasons for employee turnover can include feeling underappreciated, relocation or partner and spouse, low job satisfaction, lack of opportunities, non-competitive benefits and compensation, conflicts with company missions and values, and personal issues, health or childcare issues. I'm gonna sit you to the side and open you. According to keeping the people who keep you in business by Lee Graham, the cost of losing an employee range from 25% to 200% of that employee's salary. Some of the costs cited revolve around customer service disruption, loss of morale, and burnout amongst all other employees, and the cost of hiring someone new. Losing an employee is called a turnover. There are two types of turnover: voluntary and involuntary. Voluntary turnover is the type that is initiated by the employee and many different reasons. Voluntary turnover can be predicted and is addressed in AR to some extent. Involuntary turnover is where the employee has no choice in their termination. For example, employer initiated due to non-performance. It has been suggested that replacing an employee who is paid $8 per hour can cost from four upward of $4,000. The percentage of turnover can be calculated as separations during the time period, month, total number of employees, mid-month, times 100. Let's assume there were three separations during the month of August and 1,100 or 115 employees total mid-month. We can calculate turnover by the scenario. 3 divided by 115 times 100 equals 2.6% turnover rate. This gives us an overall turnover rate for our organizations. We may want to calculate turnover rates based on religion or department to gather more specific data. For example, let's say that these three separations, two were in accounting department. We have 10 people in the accounting department. We can calculate that 2 divided by 10 times 100 is 20% turnover rate for accounting. In HR, we can separate the costs associated with the turnover into the indirect costs or direct costs. Direct turnover costs include the cost of living, replacement costs, and transition costs, while indirect turnover costs include the loss of production and reduced performance. Direct recruitment costs, averaging costs for new positions, orientation and training of a new employee, severance costs, testing costs, time to interview new replacement, time to recruit and train new hirees. Indirect, lost knowledge, lost productivity while new employee is brought up to speed. Costs associated with the lack of motivation prior to leaving. Costs associated with the loss of trade secrets. That is so true. So people won't remember what you say. People won't remember what you did, but people will always remember how they made you feel or you made them feel. Okay, let's read this one more time. I read the HR materials I sent out regarding employee engagement and turnover. They should have given you a good understanding of the problems that some of our employees are experiencing in our current work environment. I think it's time to express the urgency across for change across the organization. I like to host an all employee meeting as soon as possible, and I'm trusting you to determine the agenda. I believe transparency and honesty are the best tools for gaining momentum and trust. So we need to explain the true cost of turnover to our employees for them to understand our need to move forward with our upcoming changes. Here's the agenda template you will be using to plan the all employee meeting. That's all I have today. The purpose in this meeting is as follows: to make people aware of a company wide effort to improve retention rates, improve employee employment, well, improve employment rates by reducing direct or indirect turnover, which is getting the pink slip or voluntarily quitting, to instill a sense of urgency around this issue, which is number one to the Cotter's Pie 8 stages or 8, what was it? 8 model. They got a model. It's always something. To introduce a team of people, the guiding coalition, that was number 3 or 2 or 4, who have been selected to plan the implementation of a number of initiatives that will improve retention, which is employment, high employment settling, to gauge employee reactions to change initiative, to see, to engage with employee reactions to this change, which is the initiative, to begin eliciting employee feedback and ideas on what needs to be done to improve retention, to begin eliciting employee feedback, to begin looking at employee feedback and ideas on what needs to be done to improve being hired, to begin identifying potential enablers, things that help or create, and barriers to success, goals. We hope to leave this meeting with the following goals accomplished. Employees understand the urgency around employee retention and the reason for some upcoming changes. Employees understand the change process, who is going to lead it, and how they can contribute. That's an important one. I'll write it down. Employees understand the change process, who is going to lead it, and how they contribute. Most importantly, employees buy into the importance of what the company is trying to do and feel that their input is valued. Employees feel that their input is valued. Okay. Okay. Sorry, it's just a force of habit. Fill in a template to explain your proposed agenda for the meeting. For example, duration. Let's scroll down. Set the number of minutes devoted to each main segment. Separate durations are not needed for each subsection. Duration. Activity. Provide a brief description of each part of the meeting. Rationale. Explain what you imagine this part of the meeting will accomplish and how it relates to the intended purpose and outcomes. Explain what you imagine this part of the meeting will accomplish and how it relates to the intended purpose and outcomes. What is this part of the meeting why is this part of the meeting necessary given our purpose and goals? Reference change management theories to justify choices. I am afraid to go to Grok. Go back, go back. Ah, man. Where did it go? Set the number of minutes devoted to each main segment. Separate durations are not needed for each subsection. This would, okay, okay. So this would be 1 59-minute The subject will be on go back up. Okay. Employee retention. Finding the right employee. Building relationships with employees. Keeping a employee, no, keeping a a supervisor slash employee relationship. No, that's no. Keeping a relationship with employees. Okay. Explain what you imagine this part of the meeting will accomplish and how it relates to the intended purpose and outcomes. Trying to find the right employees are hard. I will accomplish ways to use critical hardcore thinking to find the right employee to do the job. We will dive into behaviors of potential employees. We will talk about the good and bad of what it takes to be a employee under job regular job related stress. I we will talk about how to put potential employees under stressful situations to see if they can handle the job. Moving forward, There would be a universal language that gets spoken, such as pre-screening of an employee, the actual job post, during hiring process, where the individual moves into the production floor. Then there is a post screen to see if it keeping relationships. How many of these do I have to do? One. These are different. Each one of them are different. Good. I can work with this. Just give it to me and I know how to do it. Building relationships with employees. Keeping relationships. No, building. Building relationships is a hard task to build. The employees know that they need you and you need them. If you do not follow the first step, you will be stuck with a bad employee who uses whatever power they have, such as needing their services, against the actual supervisor. So what do you do? Well, no, I shouldn't put so. What do you do? Well, don't need to be in there either. You would listen and recap everything that they have an issue with that is within the reasonable realms of what a per regular employee would advocate for. What time is it? Taking the time within step one to let someone vent and or advocate about their issues within the system. I'm gonna make sure within the system, the hiring system, the HR system shows that you are willing to accept faults and change course as necessary. Um, every employee has something to lose or gain. Giving step two, giving a person positive reinforcement shows that we are positively reinforcing the rules, yet we are also, like previously, listening and recapping. If an employee has an issue with the hierarchy of this work system, then we must understand what they are trying to tell us and if it is beneficial, then structure. job and while critiquing the benchmark when an employee notices that possible changes are being positively reinforced, they meet us halfway, if not more. If we fire them too soon, we miss out on the full potential of what they could have brought to the job. So, to recap, step two, you would need to use pos- positive reinforcement. Step three is so step one. What was step one? Advocate positive reinforcement is step two. Step three, to create a sense of awareness. No acknowledgement. This is like a receipt, a human receipt of what they and a potential employee look for within their job. If we did not acknowledge them, then they would be dissatisfied. We must keep verbal receipts of what we say and our actions, our positive actions. I can't talk. I said I'd be on here at 7:30 and it did not work out. I never said I was perfect. Okay. Keeping a relationship open for with employees. Building relationship. Keeping a relationship. Keeping a relationship is just as hard as building. It's not always going to work, and this may create a voluntary turnover. You have to follow step one in building relationships. You have to evaluate pre-screen the employee and put them under enough stress based on the algorithms of the job and see how what kind of behavior they give you. Do, for example, ask them proprietary questions, not for gain, but to see how open they will be with you. Will they resist? How do they resist? With attitude, nicely reject the situation. So many ways that can happen, and you need someone. We need someone who is able to adapt to stressful situations. So, keeping a relationship requires that you know who you are dealing with and the behavior of how they act. If you cannot control to a certain extent your employees, then you are wasting your time. You must be able to control them, but yet allow them to have control as well. Keeping a relationship is following all steps and feeding the emotion, the transparency, no, transference. So crazy. Of energy to the potential employee by having honesty and integrity can make a positive relationship build. What is this? Use these bullet points to propose. What time is it? Oh shit, the time goes by fast. Use these bullet points to propose the questions for the audience. You're not about to take my time away and make me put myself in a pickle. So you can keep calling my phone, but I don't even know. Like, these immigrants got my phone number and they just call and they be like, "Is this Kimberly Cloud? You still owe a parking ticket. You still owe a toll booth. Make sure you put in your credit card information. Make sure you plug in your plugs at the airport where they can take 60% or more of your information. Do skim, not only plugging in your information, but skimming skimming, where you put your card in a ATM and they get your information. It's all, I don't understand how no one knows what's going on. Let me get back to business. You wanted me to address you, I'm addressing you. Leave me alone, immigrants. This is your second time calling me. If it has nothing to do with my check coming to me, then we have me and Washington has nothing. And I made sure I emphasize has, not have, has nothing to talk about. No hablo English. Use these bullet points to propose the questions for the audience to get their reactions to the CEO's address and the plans for change. Ooh, this one is hard. Use these bullet points to propose the questions for the audience to get reactions to the CEO's address and their plans for change. Go back up. Questions and comments. This is the CEO as finding the right employees. And this is questions and comments. Employee engagements. So Finding the right employee. Okay. So this is the CEO address. Boom. Now, okay. Okay. Where is it at? Okay, this is going to be a two-part series. I just wanted to fill in as much. Hold up. Oh, hold up. I messed up. That's why I'm glad I'm playing around with it right now. No, I want to cancel that. Being in a group of 10, Oh, no errors. Okay, that's my cue. I gotta review this. We're gonna have a part two to this. I'm gonna try to finish it today. Why do you keep popping up? Oh, where is it at? Where did it go? Where did it go? Save this shit. Okay. Now I have a meeting to go to. If it doesn't work out with the meeting, um, because I don't know if he's saying 1:30 my time as in Pacific or 1:30 as in Mountain Time. So I'm gonna be safe than sorry. Get off of here. And if he doesn't show up at 1:30 my time, then I will wait until because Seattle time is 12:30. I have Seattle time right there. So Seattle time is 12:30. So it's 1:30. It's about to be 1:30 here. So um, I gave him Pacific time too. So that's what confused me. So with that being said, let me get off of here. And even if you don't show up right now, I'm okay. I have a whole hour and a half to eat, watch TV, get on back on here after I speak to him. Take care, be safe. I'll see you guys in a bit. Um, take care.